Welcome back, everyone, to the second episode of the Game Share podcast, where we have interesting discussions about gaming and various other topics in the video game industry. For today's episode, we decided to discuss what makes a great video game to us. So, I'm your host. I'm Kyle.
I'm Chetty.
I'm Emmanuel.
That's Emmanuel.
That's me.
That's him.
Yep.
Gogo, the
Indeed.
casual gamer.
Oh no.
Friggin' go. And for today's episode, Sumi is not here with us. He wasn't able to join. He's very busy. So, as a replacement, we have a very special guest filling in the role for him.
Hey guys, this is Noor, also known as The Savage Life. What is up?
Nothing much, man.
You don't want to tell anything about yourself?
Sky.
Plug in your Twitter, your
No.
Instagram.
No, good.
You can follow me at Rumpelstomp.
No one wants to follow you.
Follow you on
Oh,
Rumpelstiltskin.
okay.
That's not even your eye, I swear.
That's his
Nah,
Twitter.
That's not YouTube.
Oh
That's
no,
your
that's your YouTube.
Nah, none of my social media actually.
This guy's trying to branch. This guy's trying to branch off this.
All right.
Look at him.
Jeez.
Who wants to start with what makes a great video game?
I think Gogo should go. It's in his name.
Yes. Okay, I'll go, I guess. So for me, what makes a good video game? Honestly, a good story would begin. Good graphics. It doesn't have to be the latest or the greatest. It just has to be good graphics. And also how the mechanisms in the gameplay. So pretty much how the map works, how the physics works, and in general, like how the story can play out with like whether it's an open world or like a closed world scenario in the game.
So, which one to you is the most important out of all those?
Story.
Story?
Story is the most important.
Even if, say, you're playing a game like Call of Duty, which is never really has the best story. Would you say it's not a great game because it doesn't have a good story?
Well, I wouldn't say, like, for me, I'm not much of a Call of Duty player, so I never got exposed to that. But I know some Call of Duty games have, like, there's some good Call of Duty games out there. But in general, the games that I play, the story that they give is something that I can, like, imagine and be in and be like, okay, I like what's going, I know what's telling. It's pretty much like it's its own movie in a sense.
He's in it for the plot and the immersion, huh?
The plot and the immersion. Like, I want it to
Okay.
take me into an experience, and like, this is the experience that I
So
want
you
to feel.
just don't like games that don't have story modes?
Well, some of them do. Like, what's it like? I don't want to say Fortnite, but Apex. Like, the characters have their own story, and I love the cinematics they do. Even with Blizzard, Overwatch, they have their own cinematic and story, and I'm always in awe with like those type of cutscenes because it shows me how amazing the game can be in a sense. But despite that, like the entire premise around the character is something that I prefer overall.
Yeah. So you prefer a more immersive story,
Yeah.
to you that's what would make a great game.
Yeah, that's what would make a great game for me, along with the
Okay.
other two. But
All right. I think I'll go next. I agree with you in terms of story games, because I do think for some games you do have to split it up because some games are solely multiplayer.
yeah,
So, but for story games, I do believe that I need to be immersed in the story. For me, that's the main priority for something that makes a great video game, because games are meant to be an escape. It's for some gamers, it's their way of escaping, not really escaping reality, but being a part of something else. You're immersed into this this entire world that you have full control over. And I think that's a lot of the games I played, I think they've done that the best. GTA 5, Ghost of Tsushima, even games like Final Fantasy 7, I was immersed into the world. I was in awe of the world that they created and the control I had over it. To me, that's the main priority for a great video game. I also think story does need to be good for me. If a story isn't good, in my opinion, I don't think it's a great game. I would even consider it a good game.
This reminds me of the saying Cineplex escape with us.
Yeah,
Right before the movie starts, like escape with us.
and that's what games do for me. It is an escape. It's like I'm kind of blocking out things in the world and being fully immersed into something right in front of me. Although I disagree with you. I don't think graphics for me are a main priority that makes something a great game. Sure, nice graphics are good, but just because shit looks pretty, it's still shit.
It's like on the surface, it looks
Yeah.
nice, but
Like the game The Order 1886. I think that's
Yeah.
what the game's called. Great graphics. It looks beautiful, but it's just pretty looking shit. It's still shit in the end. So I wouldn't agree with you that graphics really
Okay.
makes something a great game.
True. Well, for me, the ones that I play the most are the ones that, well, generally multiplayer instead of most story and campaign games. But the ones that are multiplayer that I think are great are the ones that have pretty decent to high sort of skill gaps and skill ceilings. So there's a lot of room to improve, but it's not necessarily like pros only. Like, for example, CSGO. That's something where the skill ceiling is high, but like if you're bad, you will know. Like I never really got into CSGO, but for Call of Duty, I got into that early. Quick scoping was big. I like that. I can use that in competitive as well. It was just, I don't know, it was a great game for me. And I was always into those type of games. So I feel like something that sort of can be really competitive or something that you can really sort of get better at and sort of see that progress. Those are the games that sort of are enticing to me. So Overwatch was pretty good. Call of Duty is always good for me. The one story mode game or campaign type of game that I really liked though was Borderlands because it just had a great story and it was a looter shooter type of genre and I was really into that. And yeah, Borderlands 2 specifically, I'm talking about that one. That story was just great.
wait, Chetty, I got a question to ask.
Yeah.
So from what you said, are you more into like a PvP type of game or like a PvE game? Like with the whole challenging aspect?
I like both.
You like both? Was there one?
Yeah,
that
but
you prefer?
PvP, it's better if you have like people to play with.
Mhm.
PvE is I feel like it's easier to play that just like on any given occasion.
You were talking about the competitive nature. Is that all you think makes a great multiplayer?
I mean, there's two genres of sort of like really great games when it comes to multiplayer. You can have things that are like really well balanced and you can be competitive and you can also play casually, or games that are just something that you can open up real quick, play with anyone. Like, for example, Minecraft. Like that, it's like there's not a whole lot of skill level needed. Like there's no huge skill ceiling or anything. But the multiplayer on that is completely different from so many other things that we've seen. You know?
You think
And
Minecraft's
I have a lot of hours on that, by the way. I have a lot of hours on that.
you think Minecraft's a great game?
Yes.
I think so too.
I disagree with you guys on that one.
All right.
I don't think it's a great video game
What? Why not? That's the thing, though. Why not?
because it's boring. Like I said, for me, a great video game, the main priority, I have to be immersed in the world. The world of Minecraft is boring as watching paint dry on a wall.
No.
I'd rather watch paint dry on a wall.
You can do so much in Minecraft. That's the thing. It's like your imagination's the limit, along with the blocks. But like, it's about exploring and getting to know the game. And there's also like a skill gap you can get through, like knowing how to shoot a crossbow and simple things.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
the skill
say
gap is very
Minecraft.
simple.
I wouldn't say Minecraft has a skill gap.
It's a very small,
Depending.
simple one.
It's already small, but like it's like you
literally
learn
just
as you
like,
go.
Like once you learn how to do like those critical hits by like jumping
jumping.
and hitting, and then if you can just learn to aim with the bow, because it's a PvE game at heart.
Yeah.
And
We're talking
there's some-
vanilla
in
Minecraft.
general, most PvE games have lower skill ceilings. Minecraft is no exception there.
I still
But,
wouldn't say there's
I guess if you-
really much
I don't
skill
know.
in it.
I want to say there's also PvP, especially with like so many mods and
See, the thing, I think of it
There
as like a huge sandbox type of game. Like you have the whole entire environment. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things to do, but then the mods and the different servers that are out there are what sort of make this game thrive. Without
let's-
those, it would be a dead game. no
So let's
doubt.
let's compare it to another great sandbox game, Gmod. Which would you say is better?
with or without the mods.
Bruh.
Both.
That has to be with
Okay,
the mod.
like
Has
yeah,
to be with the
Minecraft with the
mods.
mods versus Gmod with everything on the Steam library, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if it has to be with the mods, you already lost.
Are you talking about me?
So are
No,
you saying
like the
Minecraft
people
wins?
that like think that Minecraft is like a really great game. It's not. It's an okay game for what it is. That's at heart. Come on, do not boost the game. Like it doesn't need it. It really doesn't.
But
It
like,
really
how,
doesn't.
how
It
do
is
you think
an
it survived
okay
this
game.
long?
It's a
though?
very popular game. It has it's made an impact on gaming. It's the highest selling game of all time.
Hmm.
But it's just boring. It's not fun to play. To me, it's not even fun to look at. It puts me to sleep like NyQuil. It's like taking NyQuil
Oh,
and it puts me
no.
right to
So
sleep.
sad.
No.
Oh, man, are cheesing me with these
This is
opinions.
cheesing
I'm not gonna
Minecraft.
lie, this is pissing me off.
I know it's kind of making me
Well,
upset.
that's too bad.
I understand you say you don't like it. And I'm like, okay, it's so long. It's been like out for a decade, so I understand if it's, but it's still like a popular game. You can still do so much to improve it.
You
Even
people
people play it
literally
to this
make
day.
games within the game. That's a possibility.
Or you
That's
can
how
make a
deep you can
computer.
go.
That's cool and all, but I still find it boring. It's just hitting trees and hitting rocks and all that, and that's to me that's not a great game. That's not even a fun game. I wouldn't even say it's a good game. That's me.
Well-
I'm not saying you guys are wrong. If you say it's a great game, I can see why you say it's a great game.
Yep. There was just too much to do. A lot of content with the
There's
different
a-
type of maps
Well,
that
you
you can
do
download, like
One thing at a
Skyblock.
time. That's the thing. Like Minecraft's not forcing you to be like, oh, got to build a 500-kilometer railroad all the way across to get to the. No,
It
it's
is
like
quite
take
a
your time.
directionless game. It is very directionless.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want,
Do
basically.
whatever you want. And there's like
Yeah.
a joy in that. It's
And then-
like
I don't know. I was very immersed within Minecraft. You know that feeling when you first find diamonds? Oh, that's the best feeling.
That's the best
Oh,
feeling,
those
finding
things.
diamonds in Minecraft.
Yeah, for your first diamonds, yeah. Like
First
when
diamonds?
you first start playing, that's up there. That's a really good experience for me, at least. When you're like immersed and you're like you've been looking for like hours for diamonds, you can't find it, and then you find your first one.
All right,
Mhm.
I'll take your word for it.
But that implies I have to play this game for hours, which I just can't do.
And that's
Well,
that's fine.
why
It's
not?
just
Well,
you.
with that mentality, of course.
Yeah, you need to be like really open to the game and learning what's in it.
I'm not even hating it. It's just I don't think this game is worth me putting in more than 2 hours.
I'm just saying, you play. I don't know if you play 2K for a
I've
long
got,
time, but if you
like,
play
I
2K
guess-
for a while, you can do Minecraft for sure.
I guess I
Definitely
1,000 hours in
not.
Minecraft.
Definitely not. Don't even try and
I
compare
can't put
that.
yeah.
I'm not
I
comparing.
can't
I'm
put
not
the
even
same
trying to
hours
compare
in
that.
2K as in Minecraft. I really can't.
At least look, as bad as 2K has been, at least I'm more engaged playing a basketball simulator than I am with playing Lumberjack Simulator.
Hmm.
Oh,
Mm.
I gotta get a run of Minecraft. So we gotta do manual.
I don't know.
If you try to get me on Minecraft,
man.
you're just putting me to sleep. Like I'll turn on the game, but I'm gonna be sleeping right after that.
Bro, this episode should just be called "What Makes a Game Great," featuring Kyle bashing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ugh.
What about Roblox, huh?
I never played Roblox.
All right, neither have I.
I barely play Roblox. It's kind of like Gmod for kids.
Gmod for
Little bit.
kids.
The little kids, yeah.
Yeah, my cousins are addicted to that.
E-Man, what makes a great video game for you?
Me, can well, my all-time favorite video game is Assassin's Creed. That's because it has you immersed from almost the very start, and the gameplay is amazing. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 2 specifically, and the ones after, like Ezio with them. It has you immersed with this character, and combat. For me, gameplay matters a lot, and the gameplay in that was very fluid for its time. The animations were pretty solid. There's definitely a lot of glitches some at times, but for the most part, it was great. Going with like great video game though, like in general, I would say you would need a great story. Not for every game. It depends on what you're going for. But if you're going for a story game, you need to have a great story and at least decent gameplay. And what the character, and you have to be able to how do I say it? Like
Jump. If the game doesn't have a jump button, then it's on F tier for me instantly.
God of War didn't have a jump button.
I was
Well,
gonna say.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, Kyle, but
The Last of Us 1 didn't have a jump button.
well, they missed out on a huge market.
I was gonna say Last of Us 2, but you know, everyone hates that.
We're talking about great games, Gosip.
I'm not saying it's a great game. I just
We're not bringing up trash games on this podcast.
So talking
okay.
about
Forget I mentioned it. Wait, Emmanuel. So you said something about glitches. Do you think glitches in a game are like one of the most worrisome part about making a gameplay experience fun, or do you think like it adds on to the fun?
depends. If it's like a glitch
Yeah.
that doesn't allow you to play, then
That's definitely frustrating.
Paul George loading screen.
Paul George.
yeah.
Oh,
Like game breaking glitches kind of like that, like where you're not even able to play. But if it's a glitch where like let's see,
like
if you like
exploit it.
you're able to like jump higher or something like something you can exploit like that, then that's okay, I would say.
even if you're cheesing someone else.
So-
It's part of the experience.
If you're
discovering
playing like
the
single
glitch or
player,
whatever.
I mean, but if you're playing multiplayer and you're like kind of just like you're go under the map and you're able to shoot someone, then that's not fun. That's just annoying.
Or, hide on top of a bunch of trees and shoot people like in World War II.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay.
Like I remember when I was playing Borderlands 2, there was a bunch of different glitches that speedrunners would use to like get through the maps really quickly, and I would use some of those just to traverse different maps, like way faster. So those glitches, I'm perfectly fine with. I enjoyed those. It didn't harm anybody. But then, as you said, glitches where you can like go through the maps, like in certain Call of Duty games or whatever. Those ones, yeah, gotta fix those ones, 100%.
You said a game has to have great gameplay, right?
For me,
What
like
about- What about games that have simple gameplay? Would you still say they're great games?
like we're talking about like
Say we're
Walking
talking,
Dead.
yeah.
Like
We're
Walking
let's
Dead,
say we're
yeah.
talking about a game like The Walking Dead.
Well, like that's what I was trying to say. Like it depends what they're going for. Like if they're a great like to become a great game in their own. Like The Walking Dead's not going for great gameplay. They're going for great story and immersive experience with
Great
decisions.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I just want to I want to clear that up
yeah.
because I was curious about that.
But I definitely prefer games with great gameplay. That's for sure.
Gameplay, story. Okay. It's kind of drifting on what I was saying earlier. Okay. And there's a bit of competitiveness.
Nor, what about you?
So For me, I would drop it into three categories. Games that are solo player, games that are multiplayer, and then games that have both of both worlds. Both worlds.
Okay.
For solo player games, the story mode has to be like, yo, I want to know what happens next to this character, because this character feels like it feels like I grew up with this character, like side by side, and I want to know more. Like that immersiveness, like you guys were saying, like you have to be totally into it, or else that game is just gonna fit, in my opinion. But going for games that are just strictly based like on multiplayer, you have to have like great connection between the players. It can't be choppy at all. If it's a competitive play style game, like not just making a clan and building it up and seeing what you could get, like you're actually going out with your friends and you're fighting, and like gear matters, all of that, then you have to make the game very balanced. If it's not balanced, in my opinion, yeah, it's fun to play, but I can't take it seriously. Like there's no seriousness to it, And like for games that have both of the things going on for them, like multiplayer and just solo player, I would like. I see it happen in a lot of games where they slack off on one aspect of the game. Like you could just easily say this with Call of Duty. They like one time they'll hype up their story mode and then slack off on their multiplayer, and then the next one they'll do like a whole 360 where it's the multiplayer is like, okay, wow, okay, I see the upgrades, but then the story mode is like, okay, I finished in like 2 hours. What is this? That's pretty much it for me.
So, do you think that a game can have a great story and decent multiplayer, or have decent story but great multiplayer and still be considered a great game?
So I would have to say no. That would make it a good game, an okay game at best. But to say you're great and be slacking on one aspect of the game, I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why, like, if they're not putting in the effort into making the game great in both aspects, I'd rather give me the aspect where you worked your butt off on and then hold the rest. That's the way I think of it. Don't give me a sloppy product. I don't appreciate it. I spent my hard-earned money on it. I expect the game to be great. If you say it's a great game, I expect every aspect of this game to be great.
So, have you played The Last of Us?
I played the first one.
Would you? Well, that's the one. That's the one I want to bring up.
Oh, okay.
That has probably one of the best stories in gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiplayer to me was meh. I would still consider it a great game though.
And yet there are people out there that will fight that and say, "Oh, their multiplayer was great," and then they would say the whole game was great. But I'm sorry, it's not. It was very limited.
The multiplayer?
Yeah, the multiplayer was very limited in my opinion.
But this game is considered one of the greatest games of all time. Would you agree with that?
I would agree that it has one of the greatest stories of all time. Sure. Greatest game? No. No. I can't give it to it. You gave me a sloppy product. I'm sorry. Yes, they put all their chips in on the story, like, carrying it, which it did, of course. I'm not disputing it whatsoever. The Last of Us, great game, great story. Yeah, lovely. But not, like, as a video game that's gonna, like, stand the test. No, at the end of the day, it's not the greatest of the great. It doesn't make it amazing. It's a great story. That's it.
Okay.
That's.
I'm expecting Eman to say something.
I know you want me to say something. I know you want me to say something. I'm just out here getting riled up, but man's just going after Minecraft. Now man's going after
No, like don't take it the wrong way,
man.
Emans. I do love the story mode in it,
Yeah,
but like the multiplayer was very limited, right? You can't deny that.
I guess.
Well, it's limited that
I
bad.
don't
can't.
know. It's tough for me
Like-
because I just love the multiplayer. That's fine. Like to
Oh,
me.
okay.
To
All right.
me, I
See,
love.
you would be one of those people that would say this game is a great game, both multiplayer wise and story mode wise, right?
Yeah.
I would be one of those that would fight it and say,
This-
okay, the story mode, perfecto, amazing.
Perfecto.
The multiplayer,
I think the multiplayer didn't appeal to everyone. That's
it
what I
didn't.
think it was.
Exactly.
I
which
think the
makes
multiplayer was
which
kinda
makes
weak.
which makes it an amazing game, but it's not the great. It's not in the great pile. It's not S tier. It can't.
Yes.
be.
So Noor, if they just scrapped the multiplayer entirely and it was just a single player game, and that's
Yeah,
it.
then that is one of the best single player games you will ever play. Hands
I
down,
see.
and nobody could fight it either.
You all know something that the newer Call of Duties are doing? When you buy the game, you can download the different modes separately because they know certain people don't play the campaign at all. So you can just
Exactly.
download the multiplayer.
Certain
Exactly.
people? You mean nobody ever?
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
just
the
saying,
thing.
people
That's
caught
the
on.
thing.
People caught on to that trend where it's
Yeah,
like they know
people-
that
yeah.
people only buy it for one mode, but they still develop all the different modes anyways.
They want to appeal to everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They wanted to appeal to everybody, but
Appeal
that
to as
doesn't
much
make
market.
it Yeah, market. Yeah, it's all about the money, though. Remember back in the day where video games were not made for just the money; they were made because video games were fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
like, at the same
Did
time,
you
they were
know?
made for
I
money,
mean,
too.
They were still
I
made
mean,
for money.
okay, like
It was less
no,
competitive.
like don't misunderstand me.
Like
let me-
like when developers had more freedom.
Yes.
more
Fair
heart.
point.
I
When
would
the-
rather say more heart.
I would say less ambitious.
I would.
It's more business now. It's all about business.
Yes.
Unfortunately, back in the day, it was heart, bro.
What would you
People were making
consider?
video games because they wanted to make a great video game.
Would you consider games back in the day great compared to today's standard?
Yeah, if you go back in time and play them as they were, as they came out, yeah. And if you and some of them even if you bring them to to today, they would they still outclass some games that are being made today.
Okay.
Which one would you say like one example?
So let's see games that were ahead of their time and were slept on. Let's say Dynasty Warriors. Have you even heard of that game?
I played
Yeah.
it on
I've heard of
PS2.
it. I never really
On
played
PSP.
it.
Sleeper game, don't you think?
That was a pretty funny game.
Yeah, at the time it was super hack and slash.
All right, let me bring up another one. A very famous game that both story mode and online were fire. And it
Are you
was
gonna
not
say
because
Halo?
of the business. No, I'm going to say Gears of War.
I didn't know Gears of War had an online.
Gears of War had one of the top rated online competitive. There were people playing this competitively. And it was, if you were good, that cheesiness became part of your skill. You know, it was equal to everybody. Everybody had equal access to everything. Nothing was made another person overpowered than the other. You know, if two people were facing off with snipers, it would be the skill between the person that determined who won. Not, oh, that sniper was just quicker or better. No, I'm sorry. No, there's none of that cheese. It's just I was able to get cover and beat you fair and square. I chainsawed you in half, fair and square.
I have another question for you guys. That'll still be interesting. Do you think a game's popularity can make something well, let me rephrase that. Do you think a game's popularity can make it greater than it should be?
100%.
100%.
I believe
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky. Have you heard of that?
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
It had so much hype. There's a PC game. Had so
I
much
have one
hype
in
on
mind,
release.
but you guys are gonna hate me.
So many people bought it. They thought it was going to be the next Minecraft, and then it just flopped.
Fought so hard, and they try to
Fuck,
fix it up,
yeah.
but I don't know. It's still terrible.
So
I just know the game
in
flopped.
That way, just know the game got bare sales, like bare initial sales, and only because of popularity, only because of the hype. I guess when you said popularity, hype and popularity, those two things definitely make a game sound greater than it might actually be.
Well, I'm not even talking about sounding greater. I'm talking about can popularity
Impact the game's greatness.
impact the game's greatness. Yeah.
It just inflates it. Okay.
Yeah, and there are many cases of that.
Yeah.
I've heard bare people tell me that, oh, I need to play Warframe. I hop on Warframe and I'm like, okay, this is Destiny downgraded by like
Who in the
10,000
hell
times.
told you should be playing Warframe?
I was told it was a good free game, when you're bored. And
It is definitely free.
right? It's definitely free. And that's about it. That's all you get from it is the satisfaction that you didn't have to pay money to play this game. That's it. That is all the satisfaction you get out of this.
I don't think the satisfaction. The fact that you play the game is just
No, bro, I was dissatisfied. No, yeah,
unsatisfying.
exactly. Yo, I was dissatisfied in waiting for the game to download.
No, Noor, the thing is,
Like-
the game, so much of the good content is late game stuff.
there's
Yeah.
good content.
Yeah, in the
There's
later
good
in the
content.
later. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. But at the same time, I could just say, yo, drop the $40, $50, $60 on Destiny and have a much better time. I'm just saying. But if money isn't an option and you are forced to play free games, I feel sorry for you if you chose Warframe as your.
But
as your
then
go-to. I really
what
feel
makes
sorry.
Destiny much better though? It's like the way I
Let's
see Warframe.
getting to the late game isn't as taxing on your health.
Would you
And when
say
I say taxing on your health, I mean
Taxing on
taking
your
years
health. Oh,
off
man.
your freaking life.
But do you think Destiny is a great
Alright.
video game?
I'm just gonna check my hours on Warframe real
No,
quick.
but it
Give me
is a
moment.
better version of Warframe.
But like, here's the thing about Warframe that I adore. It's just like it could be the same mission over and over, but you could do whatever the hell you want with it. Your character could literally just go around jumping off anything and really everything, and
No,
you can
that
still
game.
have fun with it.
That game is boring.
Well,
I'm
like,
sorry, it's
okay,
not fun.
I don't think it's that boring. I just play on PlayStation. On PC, I can see why it's hella fun.
You just
How
you
people
face the
play it. It
same.
looks amazing.
You
to,
face
like,
the
see
same
it.
wave of enemies over and over. There's no real clear
But
direction.
Destiny's the same thing.
and what you
face
have
the
to do.
Same
Well,
wave
I'm
of
not. I'm
enemies.
not trying to compare it to Destiny. I'm talking about Warframe on its own. It's a bad game.
No, but like, there's so many games where you face waves. You know, Killing Floor, right? I know you hate that game.
Yeah, that's a
I
bad
like
game
that
too.
game. But like, I like that game. It's just like you're repeating some things, but at the same time, you're not doing everything the same, and there's still a kind of joy that you have.
No,
Okay,
not
no,
even
no,
Killing
no,
Floor,
no,
I
no,
You're
no, 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 no.
you're reaching. You're reaching.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
like. I'm just using Killing Floor as an example, but I get
That's a
that
bad
feeling
example
with
then,
Warframe.
because that game is
you're not
trash
even
too.
you're not even paying attention to what you're doing in Killing Floor, because in Killing Floor you do the same thing over and
Well,
over
is-
again. You get
is
the
that such
same
a bad
weapons
thing sometimes?
and you go to the same spot that you're comfortable with, and you
Bro,
just camp
look,
it.
I can
like
sometimes
everybody
advocate
else.
for Warframe. Like certain parts of Warframe, I can advocate for. Killing Floor, bro, get out of here, bro.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I played Killing Floor and
Hey,
Warframe.
I always like to mix and change stuff up. I don't just do one thing in Killing Floor, but I
What do
can
you mean?
understand.
That's all Killing Floor is. It's doing one thing. What do you
One
mean?
thing.
Killing
Well,
Floor
like,
was good
surviving.
for-
Are you
It's
saying-
surviving?
But there's some games that are just like you do like waves and waves of enemies, but is it boring throughout? Not really. It changes. You could change with it. You could be like, oh, okay, this time I'm gonna run with this and that, instead of just, oh, I'm gonna keep doing
I
this. till
still
get
don't
to the
think those are
boss.
great. I still don't think those are great games.
I don't know.
Like, okay, let's look at this. We're talking about criterias for a great game, right?
Mhm.
For a great multiplayer game, we're talking about competitive nature,
Yeah.
gameplay, balancing. What else? What else would you say for a great multiplayer? Would you just say those three things?
Honestly, balancing is key in my opinion
Okay.
for multiplayer.
I
For
forgot what else
multiplayer,
said.
would you say those three things? Gameplay, balancing, and competitiveness.
Yeah.
And
But
I was gonna
like-
say a skill can go with competitiveness too. For
Yeah.
story, it has to
Yeah.
be engaging. You have to be like obviously engaging, immersed. It has to have a good
Does
story,
it have
obviously.
to be though? Like
Yes.
for Overwatch, like there is, but
But
like the story is its own
Overwatch
thing.
Overwatch is not a story driven game.
Yeah, but so
It's not.
It has
But
story.
no.
It has story elements, but it's not a campaign game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Overwatch is a great
Not many
multiplayer
multiplayers
game.
are campaign driven though.
That's what. Yeah, that's why I said like for a great multiplayer, you needed those three things I mentioned. For a great campaign game, you need a
Mhm.
great story, and you need to be immersed. Obviously, the
Mhm.
gameplay needs to be good. I think great game. Obviously, you need great gameplay, depending
Mhm.
on the game you're making. And I'm surprised you didn't mention this earlier, but you need to have great characters. I think the best games have the best characters.
Yeah. Solo player games
That
are
makes
heavily reliant on their characters. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think The Last of Us without Joel and Ellie is not a great game. And it was proven. The game is called The Last of Us Part 2, and that's not a great game. God of War is great because of Kratos and his story. Red Dead Redemption 2 surpasses Red Dead Redemption 1 because of its protagonist.
And that doesn't often happen. A
Yeah, it
sequel
doesn't.
beating the prequel, it doesn't.
It doesn't, but that game was so good because
Exactly. And that's what is it hurts me to say that it's not a great game because their online fell off because they don't give it love. They give it all to GTA.
I think I disagree
You know
with you.
I'm right. You know I'm right.
The online for me has been disappointing lately, but
Yeah, lately,
It's-
which
it's
means
tough
like,
for
like I
me.
said, it's falling off.
yeah,
It
it's
fell
falling off. But it's still tough for me to say it's not a great game.
It's a great story mode. It's a great story mode.
It is-
And I
it is a
can't
great story
dispute
mode.
it. I love it. One of my favorite story modes to play. But to call it a great game,
No, you're right
I
because
cannot.
the online is slacking because they're not doing anything with it.
And there's no competitive edge in it. Like, like it's not like I'm going out there with my posse robbing another posse. No.
Yeah.
I want that. I really do.
Yeah, the fact that they don't have
And-
those elements, it does lower it from
And
being
it's
a
not even
great
too
video
late.
game.
And it's
No,
not
it's
even
not.
too late.
It's
We
not.
know in PS5 we're going to get the Red Dead, just like we're going to get GTA. They can't
But-
do one without the other anymore.
Would you, if we put this on a tier list, would you say it's a S tier game?
No. And if it ever makes it to S tier, it has to be bottom of the S tier. And that's just like opinion based though, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like my opinion is that it is not an S tier game. It is an S tier, God tier story mode, hands down. But as a game in whole, I'm sorry, you did not give me a product that was worth it.
Okay. I agree with you. I agree with you on a lot of aspects because their online has been very disappointing. The fact that there's a lot of stuff you can't do,
Exactly.
being a cowboy and all in the Wild West.
And that's why it's easier to rate games that are just either multiplayer or story mode. You could actually put them in any tier and they wouldn't really affect the tier list as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a solo player game, let's say we put Dishonored on the tier list in S tier, it wouldn't even come near to any of the S tiers that have multiplayer in them. Like they're not really on the same wavelength,
On the same wavelength.
That's how I would look at it. You can't compare oranges and apples. I'm sorry. You just can't. They're two different things. They're both fruit, but they're two different fruits. Sorry.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't play Red Dead that much, but from what I see, like when you played it, you were really happy about the whole story. But then you were
Exactly.
so pissed
That's what I'm saying.
I
man.
was the story
Especially with the
hooked
horse.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The story hooked me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the characters. I fell in love with all the characters in Red Dead Redemption 2 because of how well they were written.
Yeah.
The story for me is an 11 out of 10.
But
The
remember,
on-
it was so long, but then near the end, you're like, "Oh, it was so short." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
well, no,
No,
my
but that's like how you feels like when you finish any marathon.
yeah,
You know, I want more.
Okay.
my issue was the intro took forever, but then once I got into it, I just grinded out the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was smooth sailing past the intro. I'm not gonna lie.
So
But
what
at the
about
same time, oh my god, that story mode, it was a masterpiece.
this? This is a question for Emmanuel and Chetty, really. What about a game like MW2?
What about it?
Would you say it's still a great game?
In its current shape and form, no, because this is riddled with hackers. The servers are old.
Bro, not right now.
Like obviously,
In its
like
No,
prime.
back
but the
when it
thing
came
is,
out,
In
in
its prime,
Yeah.
obviously, back when
like
it came
one
out.
thing
It's
to
quote
note
unquote
though,
prime.
but right now there's a different server that people made of Modern Warfare 2 that's like not hacked or anything, but they modded it to add more weapons and stuff, and it's on PC. That just goes to show how good the game is and how people still wanted to keep playing it without all the messed up hackers and bad servers. But back when the game
yeah,
was
I still want a remake.
fresh, when it was new, when it came out, it was popular. It like everyone had
Yeah.
it. It was the multiplayer was, of course, when you look at it now, and when you even look at it back then, it was definitely flawed. People didn't like Painkiller or death streaks in general. It just made you a juggernaut if you died too many times. People didn't like the noob tubes. It was
Wait. It had
OP.
death streaks.
Yeah, if you die too many times, you
Yeah.
get a boost. And one of them was called
Yeah.
Painkiller. It gives you 200% extra health or something like that.
Oh, so that's a game perfect for me.
You missed
That-
out,
that's-
Kyle.
That's
You
the
missed out.
perfect Call of Duty game for me.
Yeah. That Call of Duty's multiplayer was S tier, but as a whole, I'm sorry,
What
it
do you
is
mean?
not
The
a great game.
story was good, wasn't
The
it?
story,
The
story
was
was
not
good, but like you
fire.
said, the
story
multiplayer was
not
riddled
fire.
with
I'll
flaws.
say, out of all Call of Duty campaigns, Modern Warfare 2 is probably one of the nicest.
Yeah.
But would you still call it a great game?
Exactly.
That's the thing. If it's riddled with flaws, it can't be a great game.
At its time, it was great.
But at its time, you said it was have flaws and hackers and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no,
like-
every game has flaws. These ones were just, very easy to point out.
These were people flaws,
Yeah.
Yeah, the hackers is a now
not
issue.
game flaws.
Okay.
But yeah, like even though like those things were annoying, like we just found as part of the game. It's like, oh, another dude with noob tubes. Ugh. And then next thing you know, you learn how to deal with them.
I can't believe the game rewarded
people
you
with
for
Painkiller?
dying.
People with Painkiller, you can
Yeah.
still melee them in one
It
hit.
didn't really reward you for dying. It was more like, hey, you're dying. Let's help you.
So
So you
you
can
can
be-
commando lunge.
So you could be getting dropped like a background character out here, and the game would reward you.
Yes.
No, it would give you a pick you up because the other team was obviously better than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't
I
feel
really
nice
remember
about
a couple
dying
of
too
the
many
death
times,
streaks.
you know?
I remember like 3 of them. One of them, you drop a grenade when you die, so that
Yeah.
you can hopefully kill the other person. One of them lets
sounds
you copy the
kinda
other person's
cheesy.
class.
No, but there was a delay on the grenade, of course. Like the other player had time to get away. Plenty
yeah.
of time.
Okay.
But yeah, Painkiller was like the broken one.
Yeah,
They were all
Painkiller
they
was
were all
no-
reasonable except for that one.
Yeah.
All right. I just want
But
to
like even then in a game like Modern Warfare 2 where you could literally equip a knife and run around the whole map and get a nuke knifing.
Yeah,
That-
commando lunging. Yeah.
Oh my god, when I achieved that, I felt so great, bro. I felt invincible.
Oh yeah, something Kyle that was big back then was the Call of Duty clans. So people would literally like make whole new PSN accounts or Xbox accounts with the clan name at the beginning of their name.
like you guys,
Yeah.
the Nova Clan.
Oh yeah. You already know.
And then that made it really fun to play though. Like you'd have people to play with, go with snipers, try and hit some montage clips and stuff, or just go off and get nukes every other game.
So even despite all
the
those things
community.
with the multiplayer, you
Yeah,
would
the
still
community is
say
what made it fun.
it's a great game.
It's a classic. Not just great, it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Yep.
You're
Okay.
making Chetty fall in love with it more and more. He went from it's a good to a classic.
All right. I want that to be cleared up.
I think that's the easiest tier game, to be honest. Just because how good
I
the
don't
story
know. I
was.
think
and,
I think people throw out S tier way too easy. I'm
no,
sorry.
but like if we're going based on good multiplayer, good story, then or like good single player, then that's I think you can put that S tier.
How
If we're going
good was
based on
this?
the
How
story
good
was really
the-
good. Story was amazing.
Okay.
But it
Yes,
wasn't
that, like-
memorable.
Well, would
Like,
you
I don't
put?
play a whole lot of story games, but I remember the ending. I remember a lot of parts from that.
I only played story in Call of Duty. I started playing multiplayer in
Oh,
like Black Ops 2. That's the first time I played multiplayer in COD. So yeah, I got the games for the story, and that was a really good one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I would yield the floor for Modern Warfare 2 because yeah, it is a classic. It brought Call of Duty back on the map. I'm not gonna lie, that was the game.
we're just giving up the floor.
I ain't got nothing to say on Modern Warfare 2, so
No, it brought it back from extinction, in my opinion. It was the game that made people like, "Yo, we need to play this one."
Like there was
And
definitely
everybody
a
was
burst
right.
in the
Yes, you did
franchise.
need to play it.
There's definitely a pop in the franchise when that game came out.
Yeah, that popped that. Yeah. For sure.
Happy, nice upwards.
what about games like the Pokemon games? Would you
Oh.
say those are great?
Not all of them. You have to you would have to dissect it even further. Which Pokemon game?
Well,
Like you would be rating Pokemon versus Pokemon. You know.
which ones would
Yeah.
you say are great games?
So you got Emerald, Platinum, Leaf Green, or is it Fire Red? Whichever one is the I can't remember anymore. Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Those are Pokemon games that need to be played. If you play Pokemon.
I would say Leaf Green's the only great one.
I would have to disagree. Platinum and Emerald were pretty fire.
Well, I guess I can't really say too much. Which one was Platinum and Emerald? That had
Emerald was
Platinum,
Rayquaza.
No, you're thinking Heart Gold, or Platinum and Gold. Yeah.
Platinum and Gold. Oh yeah, you're right. Platinum and Gold. I didn't.
No. It was Black and White and then Platinum. Heart Gold and Soul
Oh,
Silver were remakes.
yeah, no, you're
Gold-
right.
Of
Yeah.
Gold and Silver.
You're right. Yeah.
Please, I have my DS beside me right now.
Don't kill me.
All
I
right,
play
my bad.
Pokemon. I play
Man's
He's
pulling up
fact
all
checking
the
out here.
cards.
This is
Oh, yeah,
facts out here.
Platinum. Didn't that come out with Diamond and Pearl? Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, right?
Diamond Pearl. Thank you. That's what it was.
Yeah,
White.
Giratina was on
No,
the
white.
box.
White and black was.
Zekrom and whatever.
Yes.
Oh, the Pokemon Time and Space, and then there's
Yes.
the one with the darkness or something.
Yeah, but like
Right.
people hated Diamond and Pearl that it just fades into the back of your head. Like,
People
It
hated
was-
Diamond and Pearl.
yeah, Platinum was just better than both of them. Like, just get
Okay.
Platinum.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't say I
I
played every
didn't.
Pokemon game. I played a bit of Diamond and Pearl, and those were fun. But I would say Leaf Green is the best because even if you capture all the legendaries, it still feels the most balanced out of all of them.
I mean, okay, when you say balance, what do you mean by balance? Like, what are
Like,
your
'cause
Like,
you-
the story was
here?
the progression was very sort of like, I guess, yeah, balanced in that sense. You know, like every single
Okay.
time you go to a new city,
So-
there's always
There,
new
there was
stuff,
no,
always
there
new
was no
challenges.
one overpowered Pokemon that you could use to breeze through the whole game.
Okay.
Well,
So here's another
Originals.
fact about Pokemon that really hurts. Unfortunately, the more the games come out, the easier it's been getting. The older
it
the
has.
game is,
That is true.
the more you played it because it was like, I really want to beat this because I'm sick
You
and
know
tired
when
of
that
losing to
started?
it.
You want to know when that started? When they allowed
after
EXP
Emerald.
share. No, when they
Yeah.
allowed EXP share to affect every Pokemon in your party. That's when it started, or that's when it really, really picked up.
Wait,
Yeah,
every
that's
Pokemon?
Right after, yeah.
I thought-
I believe
Didn't
it
it
was on,
only used to be one?
I think it was on X and Y when they started
So it used to be that XP share was an item that you actually had to give to a Pokemon in your party for it to get XP
Yeah.
when your main Pokemon was battling. Now XP share is an item in your bag that when you turn it on, all subsequent Pokemon in the party get equal amount of XP.
Okay,
And
well,
the thing
that's
is,
stupid.
Kyle, the thing is, it's not split.
It's not split.
It's replicated.
They all get equal.
That is dumb.
Yeah.
But
That just
the
made it
thing
way too
is,
easy.
no, but it didn't make it that easy because think about it. When you turn on XP share, it actually affects the IV training or
That's
EV
if you're
training.
getting into competitive.
Yeah, exactly. And we're speaking as if
But
we're
even
making great games here.
even
We're talking
then,
about
but
great.
I think that still breaks Pokemon game because the whole point was there was tactics to it. You would send out a Pokemon and be like, okay, he measures up well against this guy, so I'll send this Pokemon out, have him battle. I don't like this one fighting.
Yeah.
Send him out. Now you could just have one Pokemon fight and everybody
Everybody
gets the XP.
gets XP.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I say. Leaf Green is probably the only great Pokemon game
But
because it's the only one that feels the most balanced.
but that's one aspect of Pokemon that they changed, really.
I think
Everything
that's
else,
a huge aspect.
It is. You're absolutely right. It is. And not only did it make the game just much more brain dead, that's actually all it is. It just made it more brain dead. It made the game way too easy. I did not have to spend multiple hours training one Pokemon or two Pokemon at a time and then going back at it again from square one. I just did it all at the same time. The older you go in the generation of Pokemon, you could see the greatness evolves, and yet somehow it devolved. I don't understand it. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Instead of going for Mega Evolution, they went for Mega De-Evolution.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
You took your Charizard and you try to squish it back into a Charmander. Like, I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all you could say with Pokemon is that so far what we're seeing is that every generation that comes out it's just getting easier and worse.
Do you think games are missing skill lately?
Yes, because of loot boxes.
Wait, what do you mean
Like
by
which
skill?
games? Yeah.
Just games, or let me rephrase that. Do you think great games require skill?
Like they give you a challenge and
Yeah.
or you need to be like a certain.
Yeah.
You have to have a dexterity or something on it.
Do you think great games require a challenge for you or even skill?
Okay, you all have to say something because I already have my opinion ready.
No, I
Okay.
would say like a great game doesn't require you to be that skilled. Like you could learn as you go. Not every game. Like you could change the controls to whatever fits you like more comfortably, but as the game goes on, you learn about its mechanisms, like Dishonor. Like you learn about the abilities, and you know how to use them, and there's like a fun to that.
Yeah.
It's that's the thing about like games when like it's a story, and you're the one playing the story. It gives you like a freedom. It's like how do you want to explore this game? Sometimes it doesn't do that, but that's fine because that's a challenge. You just have to like see how you can get away with the solution, or if you have like the same thing.
All right.
How does Chetty feel about this? Chetty's very skilled.
Yeah,
I know.
I definitely think that any game that has a decent enough skill ceiling that gives you time to like sort of start off the game as a sort of a noob or sort of unexperienced and then end off being kind of like better at the game than you were before. You need that bit of progression in like any game. So yeah.
What was your question? Do games require less skill now?
No,
What was-
do game requires skill to be great?
Like yeah.
like, do you have to be skilled
Right?
to play
Was that right?
Yeah,
game?
that's yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Not
Like, should a great
necessarily.
game require skill?
Why is that, man? Necessary.
Like great. Like I think Walking Dead's a great game, but it doesn't require skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I get what you
I'm
mean.
also gonna have to say no. I have to agree with everyone that said no. My main reason would be Shadow of Mordor. I'm sorry, that game is triangle based. All you have to do is click the button triangle and you win. But it still is a great fucking game. It's just amazing. There's nothing else wrong with it. Like, graphics are beautiful, story is beautiful, nothing more you could ask from it. And then the sequel, Shadow of War, the online could have been better. It could have been a great game, but no,
There's
you
an
just gave
online?
me more of Shadow of War. Yeah, where you
Yep.
create your own army and you face other people's army as by yourself, and then they face your army.
And there's like this whole power scale.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
like
dope.
your army comes in too and helps you like with the invasion. You know, like you have two different armies where one would help you with the invasion and then one holding down like your base, your fort.
Is it like For Honor? You know, like game mode, So like
No,
that?
no,
or is it
no, not
strategy?
even. No, it's like you're actually playing your character. You're invading a fort.
Mhm.
Like it's
And
not like a board
So it's
game
it's
style.
Clash it's
not
Clash
board
of
game
Clans,
style.
but you're actually controlling the people.
Yeah, no, not even. You're just controlling
Well, like,
you. Your
Well,
army,
yeah.
you
you.
have your army. Your
Yeah.
person. You're your main character, and you're actually fighting as if it was part of the game, but it's just like a side quest, like a
Okay.
mission.
Just think like
That's-
you're the main hero, but you're just
Yeah.
there as like an OP character.
And you never
That's-
change. Like you're always the same person.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And
Uh,
it's not a great game though because it fell off. Unfortunately, they tried too many things.
Yeah, I do agree with you guys. I do think some great games have skill, but I don't think skill is a requirement for something to really be considered
To be
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Those games require skill. Same thing with fighters, but you know, skill is not a necessity for me for something to be considered a great video game. Okay, so that will do it for today's episode. We hope you all enjoyed listening to our discussion on what makes a great video game. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, comment down below what you would like us to discuss in the future. Be sure to follow us on social media on our Twitter and Instagram. The links will be down in the description below. And we will see you guys next time where we discuss the most impactful video game deaths. Until then, see you later.
Peace.
Thanks for listening.
You already know who it is. Rumpus. Later.
Yo, smash the like button too, just for me.
Smash that like button. Ring that notification bell.
Oh,
I actually don't hit the
definitely.
notification bell still.
Actually, follow us on our Instagram.
Just get a real
real,
cowbell
for real.
and then ring it.
Follow us
and
on our
then-
Instagram. We'll try and post more. We need to post more.
Let us know about what you want us to discuss next time.
Send go.
I said that already.
He already said that. Bro.
I said
I
that.
know, but like you can send it to me
Emphasizing it
too.
again, eh?
I'll
Send
add
it.
on to it.
Send it to GoGo personally.
Yeah, well, I'll get a Snapchat for you guys.
He'll reply with a handwritten message dedicated
We'll
just for
comment.
you.
We'll comment his phone number, his
Oh,
his
God
address. You can meet
I
him in
don't want
person.
more.
He'll have a meet and greet.
Meet and greet. You already know Pretty Boy Fredo style.
Yeah. Yes, I'm meeting.
Go take over Scarborough. GoGo gonna take over Scarborough. You heard it here.
Heard it here first.
All right.
Oh no.
And,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time. Peace.
all right, we're out.